Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News with Kim and Lisa.
Today, we are breaking down some of the most shocking headlines and Bravo drama.
Make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest Bravo news. So one of the top headlines this week was that Bethenny Frankel launched a Real Housewives of New York Rewatch podcast called Rewatch. And let's just say that Luann and Carole were not too happy about it.
Yeah, they definitely had some thoughts. So Luann was a guest on Danny Pellegrino's podcast, Everything Iconic, which is hilarious and everyone needs to listen to. And he kind of surprised her with this information. It seemed like Luann was not aware that Bethenny had launched this podcast. And so we really got a, real and raw reaction from Luann. And it was pretty harsh.
It's pretty sad and pathetic.
That's right. She called Bethenny sad and pathetic and says that basically Bethenny has to resort to this because of all of her failed pivots since Housewives.
She's tried everything other than Housewives and it doesn't seem to work. And now she's going back to Housewives.
Now, would you call Bethenny's business endeavors and pivots failed?
Well, I mean, it got me thinking because I don't know where any of her businesses stand, but I have a feeling that they probably wouldn't be considered failures. But I think Skinny Girl is still around, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. I mean, she sold that company, I believe, for millions of dollars. So I wouldn't call that failed. And Luann wasn't the only one that came at Bethenny about this news. Carole, who obviously Bethenny left on bad terms with, also tweeted basically saying that Bethenny built her brand on trashing and mocking women on the Housewives. So it's no surprise that she's once again doing it. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but it kind of made me sad because for the seasons where Beryl, that's their couple's name, where Bethenny and Carole were friends, I really enjoyed their friendship together. And
Me too.
It was sad that it ended the way that it did. And just it's clear that they have not made up. So, Carole is still feeling a certain way about it. And, I get it. I think that she was probably really hurt by Bethenny. And, she's still holding on to that.
I honestly think that it's jealousy with these women. I feel like Bethenny has, after Housewives, managed to stay super relevant, whether it's, whatever she's doing in the business world. She's a shark on Shark Tank. She's now doing beauty reviews on TikTok.
This is officially my favorite foundation.
And is one of the biggest TikTokers now. So I honestly feel like these women are kind of jealous of Bethenny's, success, and especially Luann with, her cabaret. Yes, it's successful, but it's still a cabaret. It's not going to make her a millionaire. So I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of jealousy.
Yeah, it probably is. But I also do think that they kind of have a right to be annoyed about it because Bethenny has said, publicly, I'm never going back on that show. She kind of talks down about the show as if she is better than it. And, to then see her kind of return to those roots and do this podcast, I think is a little bit of a slap in the face. And so I think they're kind of just calling out her hypocrisy. I was reminded when you said Shark Tank, I think Bethenny did have a show on HBO or something, but I think it only lasted one season. So maybe that was one of the failed pivots Luann was talking about. And then I'm curious to know if she's still doing real estate or flipping houses. She had that random show with Frederick from $1 Million Listing that I also don't think lasted beyond one season. So I don't know,
right.
Maybe Luann's right. Maybe she has had some failed pivots and,
no, you're right.
she's going back to what worked.
So I did watch The Big Shot with Bethenny, which was on HBO, and I actually enjoyed it. I like Bethenny as a TV personality, so I will watch pretty much anything that she's a part of. But I do think that that did not end well with the person that she actually hired to join Skinny Girl. So yes, that might be a failure. The other show I'm not too sure about with Frederick, but she is launching a new show with none other than Mr. Wonderful of Shark Tank. And I think it's like a financial business show, which, hey, I don't know. I'm going to give it a try.
She has also been doing her Be Strong philanthropic endeavors, and
which is huge.
Yeah. And, you know, she's done some amazing work with that, and that cannot be denied. So she's definitely a smart businesswoman, and, you know, I think she is generous, but I think she's also made some enemies along the way, and they are, you know, have something to say about this. Have you listened to Bethenny's show yet?
Yes, I did listen to the first episode, which she has Elizabeth Moss from Mad Men and Handmaid's Tale as a guest, which is iconic. Okay. And honestly, I loved it. She was giving insights into the season that, you know, you don't see as a housewife. You can't really give too much detail about what goes on behind the scenes, how things are planned. So she kind of gives some insights into, you know, how the trip is produced. They're talking about Scary Island, and it's honestly pretty entertaining, though she does throw shade at Alex and Sonia, pretty much saying that they were about to be fired and she kind of saved their asses. So I think that Sonia's already come back and said that that wasn't true. So as entertaining as it is, I think that it's only going to cause more trouble for Bethenny in the future.
For sure. Well, I'm curious to listen. I'll give it a whirl.
If you guys listen, tell us what you think in the comments below.